You know the scene, right? It's the middle of the night, you wake up, and somehow your dog, who has their own perfectly good bed, is now taking up pretty much your entire mattress. We all just kind of assume, oh, they're cold, or it's just what they do. But the real reason is way deeper. It's a story told by neuroscience, and it's absolutely fascinating. Let's dive in. Seriously, why do they do it? They have their own bed, maybe a comfy couch, so why is your bed the ultimate destination? It's so much more than them just being clingy. We're talking about a profound display of trust, a deep-seated attachment, and a shared history that stretches back thousands and thousands of years.
Okay, so first things first, let's just get the most common idea out of the way. It's not just about warmth. It's not just about them being a living, breathing space heater. The real reason is so much more meaningful, and it really gets to the heart of the incredible bond we have with our dogs.
Yeah, it's easy to fall back on the simple explanations, right? Oh, they're just cold. It's just a habit. My dog is super clingy. But the science tells a totally different story, a much deeper one. It's not really about warmth or coziness. It's about finding a place where they feel safe enough to be completely, utterly vulnerable.
I mean, think about it from their perspective for a second. For any animal, sleep is the most vulnerable time. Their deep, primal instincts are screaming at them to find a secure, protected den. And yet, they walk right past that cozy corner, they ignore their own bed, and they choose to sleep right out in the open, next to you. That's not just a preference, you guys. That is a massive statement of trust.
And this is where it gets really, really interesting. So some researchers in Budapest had this wild idea. They took a classic psychology test, one designed to measure the attachment bond between a human baby and its mother, and they adapted it for dogs. And what they found? It was absolutely stunning. It turns out the bond a dog has with its owner is for all intents and purposes identical to the bond an infant has with its mom.
So they ran the test, and the results showed that a whopping 61% of dogs have what's called a secure attachment to their owners. Now, 61% might just sound like a number, right? But wait till you hear the context. That's what makes this completely mind-blowing.
Ready for this? That 61%, it's almost the exact same percentage found in securely attached human toddlers. Let that sink in. So when your dog snuggles up to you at night, they're not just looking for a warm spot. They are acting on a fundamental biological instinct to seek out their primary attachment figure, their safe person, when they are at their most vulnerable.
Okay, so we've got the psychology down, but this bond, it's not just in their heads. It goes deeper. It's actually chemical. We're talking about a powerful little hormone that literally builds the bridge between our species.
All right, let's talk about oxytocin. You've probably heard of it. It's often called the love hormone or the bonding molecule. This is the same stuff that floods a new mom's brain when she's gazing at her newborn baby. You can basically think of it as the superglue of relationships, and it is absolutely central to the connection we have with our dogs.
So back in 2015, a study found something incredible. It's this amazing feedback loop. It goes like this. You and your dog look into each other's eyes. When you do that, boom, oxytocin levels spike in both of your brains. That rush of oxytocin makes you feel more bonded, which makes you want to gaze at each other more, which, you guessed it, releases even more oxytocin. It's this beautiful, self-powering cycle of affection.
But here's the kicker. Researchers tried the exact same experiment with wolves that had been raised by humans from birth, and nothing. The loop didn't happen. This is something special, something that evolved specifically between humans and dogs over thousands of years. And of course, physical touch, like say snuggling up in bed, just pours gasoline on that fire. It strengthens the bond and actually lowers stress hormones in both of you. Now, a bond this powerful doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. To really get it, we have to go way, way back. Because this whole sleeping next to you thing, it's a behavior that is quite literally written into their DNA. Think about this. Long before we even invented agriculture, we were teaming up with dogs. It starts around 15,000 years ago. The friendliest, boldest wolves started hanging around our campfires. Fast forward just 1,000 years from there, and we find the first evidence of humans and dogs being buried together. This isn't some modern, fluffy dog in a handbag trend. This is an ancient pact. And that burial site, it's a 14,000-year-old grave in Germany, and it tells such a powerful story. One of the dogs buried with the humans had clearly survived a really bad case of distemper, an illness that almost certainly should have killed it back then. What does that mean? It means someone nursed that dog back to health. It means that 14,000 years ago, these animals weren't just tools, they were family. And all that time together has literally changed them on a genetic level. Scientists have pinpointed specific genes on a dog's chromosome 6, genes that just don't exist in wolves, that are linked to what they call hypersociability, basically extreme friendliness towards humans. For 15,000 years, without even knowing it, we've been selecting for dogs that are genetically hardwired to want to be with us.
Okay, I can hear some of you now. This is all very touching, but my golden retriever sleeps sideways and snores, and I haven't had a good night's sleep in years. I get it. But you might be surprised by what modern sleep science has to say about this.
So a study from the Mayo Clinic looked into this and, yep, they confirmed it. On a technical level, sleeping with a dog can disrupt your sleep. Your fitness tracker will tell you that you woke up more. But, and this is a huge but, here's the paradox. The people in the study reported feeling more secure, more comfortable, and get this, more rested. The psychological benefit of feeling safe apparently outweighed the actual physical sleep disruption. How wild is that?
So, what in the world is going on? The key might be something called heart rate variability, or HRV. It sounds complicated, but it's pretty simple. You can just think of it as a scorecard for your nervous system. When your HRV is high, you're calm, cool, and collected. When it's low, you're in stress mode.
And this is the truly mind-blowing part. A brand new study from 2024 discovered that the nervous systems of a dog and its owner literally sync up when they're resting together. Their heart rates fall into a similar pattern, they actually co-regulate each other. So when your dog is sleeping next to you, it's not just a cute, comforting thing. It is a literal, real-time neurological event where two nervous systems are syncing up to keep each other calm.
Wow.
All right, so given everything we've talked about, the deep history, the brain chemistry, the synced-up nervous systems, it should come as no surprise that if this behavior suddenly changes, it's a really big deal. If your dog has always slept with you and then just stops, you need to listen up. They are trying to tell you something.
So what could they be saying? Well, it could be something in the environment, a new pet, a new person, even just a new schedule. But it can also be something much more serious. A sudden reluctance to jump on the bed can be one of the very first signs of physical pain, like arthritis, way before you'd ever see them limping. And in older dogs, it can be a sign of canine cognitive dysfunction. The bottom line is, their behavior is their voice. You have to pay attention.
So the next time you wake up in the morning and you're clinging to the last 2 inches of your mattress, just take a second and remember what's actually happening. It's not just a dog hogging the bed. You're looking at the result of 15,000 years of coevolution, a powerful chemical bond fueled by oxytocin, and an attachment so deep it mirrors our own. To them, sleeping beside you is the safest place in the entire world. You are their safe harbor.
And that kind of leaves us with one last question, doesn't it? When you think about the science, how our nervous systems literally sync up, how much safer and more rested we feel with them there. It really makes you wonder, after 15,000 years together, who is really keeping whom safe?